In Jesus' name, amen.
Yeah. Yeah, and really from people that they trust.
Yeah. They got to trust us.
You know, and like my sister, she has started like making changes. At first, I was like, she didn't really. I mean, they still kind of think I am borderline crazy at times. Like,
Because you're so strict or what you do?
Well, really, I guess because what I do, but like when I walk into any building like a restaurant, I start looking at their air vents.
What about the smell? So, like, what's the first of your physical senses? What are you doing when you go into a place? Is it how it smells? Are you see
the air quality.
Air quality?
Air quality.
I mean, do you breathe that first or you look at air vents?
Breath and immediately air vents.
So, even if it's clean air vents and like you just walked in my house and kind of capped on it a little bit.
It just overwhelmed me. Like, there's stores that I can't go in because the smell is so overwhelming, and fragrance is like the number one toxic chemical because it's automatically going into your lungs.
Man, I've always thought it was such a great thing when somebody or a place smells good.
I know,
because I have stores I like because of how they smell.
Yeah, it just.
What about that old Lululemon store? You ever been in there and smelled it?
I think I've been in there one time.
They got a good smell.
Like maybe one time, and that was in Destin. I don't know, but do they have a signature smell?
Well,
maybe.
You know, I do too, and I can't
like
give
you
that
have
out.
A signature smell.
You liked it. Did you like the way it smelled, or it was bad? It was overwhelming.
I mean, it was strong. I would take it down about 10 notches.
It pumps every 20 seconds. No, every minute. 120 for 20 seconds.
Say that again?
So for every 2 minutes, it blows for 20 seconds. Aroma 360.
I would make it go every 10 minutes and maybe blow for 20 seconds.
I want my outside to smell good, bro.
It does. You know that you love the way.
I grew up poor, though.
And when you go out there and mow that grass, can you beat that smell? Can you buy that smell?
Do you know what that smell is? I got a fact checker.
What is
that? That is a stress signal from grass warning other grass that it's being cut.
Oh, wow. I believe that 150%.
And I want a grass farm, but I'm still a little nervous. That might be wrong, but...
No, I believe that.
I've heard when you cut, especially oak trees, that there's a warning signal that goes out if you're able to study that.
I mean,
if you
walk up to a tomato plant and you're not touching it, it doesn't have a smell. But as soon as you touch it, and it literally turns your hand screen and releases. I mean, I have a lot of dealings with tomato plants, so that's the first thing that came to my mind.
What are these dealings?
Oh wow, that does make sense. But
you grow your own tomatoes?
Absolutely.
Do you believe? And I kind of stumbled upon this, but I subconsciously was already aware of it. That in the summertime, I always want to eat watermelons and boiled peanuts and all these things that come from the land where I've grown up.
Yeah.
Are you aware that they're our biology is made up with the land that we grow up around to eat what our land produces in that season? Because just now it's gotten cold and wintertime. I want to up my fat.
Exactly.
I want to eat more whole eggs, more meat.
With the natural seasons of life. I believe that 150%. Your body, in the wintertime, I'll crave potatoes and rice. And then come summertime, I can get full off of tomatoes and cucumbers.
Yeah. Just the same way.
In a dish. But I do believe that we're in season. And I don't know if that's just because we were born and then
I'm thinking my mom and dad, I think they might
have
shut me out in a watermelon field. I just wasn't aware of it. Because, boy, I can eat a whole watermelon every day.
But I do also think that your body, so those are the things that are grown in the summertime because that's the optimum growing season. So your body knows that it needs to get the nutrients that it needs in that season before it comes winter and it's not available. and then you get what you need from winter seasons to last you throughout the summer, because you sweat more in the summer, you burn fat, or at least I do. So in the wintertime, I usually store, I'll gain a pound or two in store. Don't be talking
being
about
modest for me. I mean, I got in the sauna this morning because I'm aware I don't sweat like I do in the summertime.
Exactly.
And I really don't use my sauna in the summer, but yeah, in the winter I try to use it twice a week and still combating that wintertime. Even the sunlight.
But I think you need to allow yourself to gain that weight.
What about
to an extent.
Like becoming pasty and like knowing you need some vitamin D and going and just, I ain't saying I tan every day. I hate to tan in bed, but I will go every other week for like 10 minutes, and I swear it makes me feel amazing.
I mean, it does, but...
But you think I should be giving my body that time away from it the whole winter?
Not exactly. I just think
if
there's
I see a watermelon for sale, I'm going to buy it too.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not in the wintertime. No.
Don't eat it?
No. I mean, me personally wouldn't, because I know that, number one, it's not from Mississippi.
Guatemala, baby.
It came from Florida, most likely. Like, all winter, I will not eat a tomato unless it comes from a jar that I canned. Like, I'm not buying one in the store to make a tomato sandwich.
What about a plastic jar?
Absolutely not.
All right, so let's dive down into that.
Okay.
If you woke up in the morning, what's the first thing you're doing? And how have you made that healthier or safer for your family?
Okay, so my schedule has recently just changed because we got back into chickens, but that's not here than there. But anyway, so now instead of like using creamer for coffee, which I got to making my own coffee creamer.
Do you drink coffee?
I do. And
That's easy though, bro. Creamer?
It's easy to make creamer?
No, not use it.
Oh, you sound like Weston.
Just
yeah, because he just
coffee.
drinks it black. But anyways, so I was real bad about depleting my body automatically.
What do you make your coffee with?
A protein shake.
Well, like
with protein.
Ingredient-wise.
I just use a protein shake
Do you
for
grind?
my base.
What about your coffee beans?
It's just liquid cold brew coffee. I don't brew the beans.
Because of why?
I don't know. I don't drink Folgers. I don't like running it through a coffee
That's what
machine.
I'm getting at, because plastic. Like I just got my family.
And I drink it out of a mason jar.
Well, see, I just got my family converted to like plastic, but now it sets on or glass, but it sets on a plastic cooler. And now it's got to go through plastic to get to my cup, and most of my cups are plastic. My coffee maker is plastic. How do I avoid this? Like, seriously. Like, now that I'm aware of how much we absorb comes through plastic.
So, we do chemical leaching, and and that is a forever chemical. Like, your body cannot detox that. And I watched a video yesterday, and she said that studies have shown that more than 5% of your body, of the people's body today, is made of plastic, because they have ingested that internally.
You want to know the reason why I converted to plastic?
Or to glass.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you converted to glass.
I'm going to go back on that.
Okay.
You want to know the reason why I converted my family to glass? So I feel I was scared I was going to lose my son's taint.
Yeah, I don't know what taint is.
You don't know what a taint is?
I guess I don't.
I swear to God, like I started researching and hearing that plastic.
Is that like testosterone?
That's the little skin between your booty hole and your old nuts. You know, you got that little line of skin.
So how does plastic
That's your taint.
affect that?
And research have shown that plastic is reducing the male taint to nothing.
Where did you get that information
I swear.
from?
Can y'all fact check that for me?
Where did that come from?
Hey, dude, they're trying to make us all one. And plastic's doing it.
Well, I do feel like...
But I'll tell you right now, my boy's got a nice taint. So.
Quit putting him out there like that until he can defend himself.
Well, Daddy can defend him.
But I do... So the reason why this started for me...
You become aware.
And I feel like this is like survival of the fittest. It's like population control.
But we're going to call it thrival of the fittest.
Because and it was like convenient over it's like marketing projects and scams, and I understand that people need to make money, but it was just like the government I hate to say that, wanted it. It was just like, okay, so we're an overpopulated country right now.
So?
Absolutely. Like the amount of people in this country, if we were to only produce like the food in this country, fed this country, people would die because we cannot feed. The United States cannot feed the amount of people that live in the United States as of right now.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
It's overpopulated.
Oh, Musk says we're underpopulated by far.
Mm-mm. I do not believe that.
Because kids these days ain't having kids. They don't want to have kids. They don't want families. Now, we're populated right now the way we are, but because of the baby boomers and the war times. But like kids now, heck, they don't even want a driver's license.
Well, yeah, and every time you turn around, somebody's kid is dying of cancer.
Terrible.
And why?
Do you think organic's organic?
You know, we talked like the other day, and then it was just like this coincidence that this video come up on, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram.
Ain't coincidence. They're listening.
I know. But it was talking about organic. And organic is meant to be like, it is not supposed to be sprayed with any kind of chemicals.
Exactly.
And Weston, he thinks that that is not true. Like, he thinks that organic is just a selling factor.
Well,
like,
it just depends on if somebody's like trademark that name.
Up the price, you know, just to be able to mark that price up or double the price is why they put organic on it. But I don't know if I believe anything that is approved. Or
I don't think you can trust it.
You can't. The only way you can trust it is if it come from your backyard.
Well, still, like, where do those seeds come from?
Labs.
Yeah, so you're eating lab seeds.
And that's what this girl said is like, yeah.
What do they call the seeds at, like, the heirlooms?
Yes.
You can find heirloom seeds.
Yeah, so heirlooms are supposed to be like where they'll reproduce.
Right.
So like I can harvest that fruit,
and then take
that
from
seed
it
and reproduce. And then the other ones are
GMO.
Yeah, they're a man-made product.
I mean, not to sound doom and gloom on like just say corn growing, for instance. I think we make like this is gonna be off, but it's pretty close. Like 11 billion pounds of corn a year is what we harvest. And it may be 11 billion in dollars. I'm not really sure, but either way, just say 11 billion. Mm-hmm. Like 9 of them go overseas, and then another billion of it's transferred to like fuel.
Yeah.
And then there's not even a billion of the
corn.
11 that's used for food source.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? So when we see all the genetic modified like seeds, a lot of that's just being used for fuel. We're not eating it. So, I mean, but we're still spraying the fields and putting it in the air, and it's flowing to our water systems.
Wheat and barley, wheat and soybeans are like one of the main ingredients in almost everything that we eat. Wheat. I mean, almost everything you cook is with wheat. And to harvest wheat, they spray it with Roundup to kill it.
Glyphosate.
To dry it out. Yeah.
I mean, you got fertilizers. I mean, your meats have hormones and antibiotics.
Now that is something that I haven't dug deep into, but
Dude, I'm trying to eat a cow that's been shot up a little bit.
My thing is pork.
That's set free.
And chickens. Anything that they eat absorbs into their tissues. But now a cow, their digestive system works like ours too. So they do not absorb into their tissues. It just goes through their intestines and
5 stomachs.
Yeah. So if I were to choose something to eat, it would be a cow.
No chicken?
Not a chicken.
Dang.
And what is the fitness industry? I don't raise chickens to eat. I raise hatching eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
So what do you call that? Like, what's the scientific form? Like,
It's just egg houses, or breeder houses, more or less, is what you would call them, because I have hens, and the eggs that they produce are sent to a hatchery to hatch out to become meat birds.
right.
And I don't like the eggs that I hatch don't go into the grocery store. They're strictly hatching eggs. I have hens and roosters. So
How many are in one house?
10,000.
You probably can't
hens.
tell me much more information without getting in trouble.
I don't think I would get in trouble. I would hope I wouldn't, but it's not that technical. But
how do you know they're in there
aside from
mating?
food,
Seriously, like
I mean, roosters breed chickens all the time.
every day?
Yes.
How many times does a rooster breed a day?
I guess as many as he could get.
Really?
Yeah. But I did read when I had my yard chickens that once they breed, they stay fertile for like 2 weeks. So every egg that they lay within 2 weeks should be fertilized.
How do you fertilize it? Lay on it?
No, the male does when he breeds her.
Oh, I thought you meant like they've already hatched the egg.
No, like when she'll lay eggs whether she's got a rooster or not.
I don't know how this works. No.
You didn't know that.
No.
Like chickens will lay eggs without a rooster. It's just not a fertilized egg. So it can't be reproduced. It can only be ate, which is fine.
Which, I mean, makes sense. I don't guess my dad has roosters and he's eating eggs.
Yeah, so you don't need a rooster to get an egg. I would probably prefer to eat an unfertilized egg.
That's probably less protein.
No. But aside from like the food that you eat, if you can't control the quality of food that you eat, you can control what you use to cook it on.
All right, so we live in a small town. It's not very health conscious. What could somebody from that town, from the start of the time they wake up that day to the end of the day, what kind of smart choices could they make to be healthier and avoid absorbing plastics and metals? Because that seems to be, if you search the interweb, the most dangers you can get is metals and plastics.
The first thing that I would do to change anything would be what I cooked my food on.
Like what?
Stainless steel or cast iron. That's it. Nothing
No
else.
copper?
I don't use copper. I don't even know if you can cook on copper.
So
Do you
what
cook
about
on
that
copper?
Teflon?
Absolutely not.
What would you do if I had your daughters at my house babysitting them and you walked in and I was cooking them some eggs with a metal spoon on Teflon? Like, seriously, what would you do?
I mean,
would you let them eat it out of not being nice?
I wouldn't. I would have a
really
panic
walk
attack.
in and say they're not eating this?
I would.
Because I've heard you'll do such.
I will.
I heard you set them
It's
straight.
really hard for me because it's just like they're the future of me. And I have to make sure that they have the best possibility to live the healthiest life that they can live. And it's up to me. Like, I'm the one that makes that choice. And the people that aren't with it, are they going to be standing there when something's wrong with them, like at the altar begging for their life? I mean, I know that sounds so far-fetched and people take it so lightly. Oh, it's just a cookie. But how do you know that is just a cookie? That could be the one cookie that contains the one thing that doesn't come out of their body, that triggers a genetic, I don't know. It just could be. It could be that, and I'm slightly crazy.
Do they only drink water?
Yes.
My kids too. That's what drives me nuts when they go other places.
I do let them have Sprite occasionally, but I've never let them have Coke, Dr. Pepper. I don't buy anything with colors. My oldest is 7, and I really am. I'm trying to teach them, not just make them do it, but I want them to know the reason.
Right.
And it's so hard to make a child feel like you're not suppressing them.
That was the hardest part of me sending my kids to public. Not that they're in public school, but just like the K2 and all that. It's because it wasn't that they're going to get bad friends. It's that, dude, now they're being exposed to Cheetos and freaking Capri Sun and all these things.
And they're in constant overload.
Like, they ate that mess.
Constant. It's not and I feel like, I think that if you're constantly taking in those things, you're not allowing your body enough time to detox from it. So it's in constant overdrive, which is like overworking your organs and causing them to age. That may sound so far-fetched, but if you do it here, there, and yonder, your body's strong enough to detox from it. Or I feel that. That's kind of how I try to, I guess, give more than I take, and let them be a kid.
Right.
Like what? I did that, but.
Well, look at you now.
I know.
Does anybody want to be?
Everybody, like our parents are coming down with cancer.
Right.
Or they have health problems.
That's the big thing for me is that old C word.
It is. It literally debilitates me. And it is at every corner. Every corner. And what's causing it?
Well, there's
is
not
it our
just
food?
There's so many different types of cancer.
Is it?
And nothing causes it. It just raises the risk.
Shots?
Right.
Who
knows? That's me. Like a lot of stuff, I didn't want to jab my old kiddos when they were born. And it's not that I think it necessarily does something. It's that I don't know what it does not do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's my reason. Until that could be proven, my gut's totally fine with saying, dude, we're walking out of here without getting the old jab and got turned over to CPS for it. But I'm still totally fine with it.
My oldest, and I know we're missing a lot of things right here, but like my oldest, she does have some, but then my second and third do not. My oldest has more. She can't fight off a sickness like my second and third can.
Really?
And you can't tell me she stayed sick when she was a kid. Antibiotic after antibiotic. And then finally, I had a friend, her son was injured. Totally normal. And she shared her story with me. And I was pregnant with my second child. And I knew. I was like, there is no way. Because I saw it. I saw it in real life. And her son was literally like a genius. He was like reading sight words at a year old. And then went and got his MMR and regressed and is silent.
That's wild.
And I do believe it's actually more common in boys than it is in girls to regress. But thank God I don't have a son. But anyways, it is just, that really opened my eyes and I started doing research for myself. And I knew that was God's, because she and I went to high school together and we hadn't seen each other in forever. And I just take those things as signs from God. God placed her back in my life to share that story with me, to make me make a decision and inform me. I do take it that far, but I think it's just a lack of being informed and just doing what's convenient. We just want to do what's convenient. And I don't.
Well, it's going against the grain whenever your kids only drink water, or you don't want them to eat the cookies, or you don't want them to take the dyes in, all these things. You're a weirdo. People, it's going against the programming of what's out there. So,
but even makeup. So my mother, she wanted to buy Millie, the oldest, some makeup for Christmas, because that's what Millie wants. Millie wants makeup. And I'm like, Mother, she's 7. Everything on that shelf when you walk in that Walmart is filled with things that are going to affect her hormones, like infertility, it could affect her, like when she gets, because how many people are having problems having children now that look to be normal, healthy people, and they're fighting to have children. So I had to do research and find a natural kids makeup.
And you
Now,
found
was
such?
it cheap? It was not cheap, but it was the only thing that I would let my mother buy her to satisfy mom wanting to get her makeup and me giving in. I'm like, you're not going to Walmart and buying no NYC makeup or whatever, or like fingernail polish. Like,
So let's reel back in. You wake up in the morning, you make coffee.
oh yeah. So
Where do you get your water from?
we have well water. I do get it from the sink. We're not on tap water anymore, and that was such a big thing for me.
Well, see, I even go back down that rabbit hole. What are your pipes made out of? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you ain't got glass pipes, then.
Well, I
get like I'm just saying, there's no way to be perfect in this.
It's not. You just have to minimize
Right.
the toxins where you can.
Mitigate risk.
So
what the easiest thing somebody could do if they don't have a well?
I would
think it's
say
gonna
get
be
a
my
Berkey
route.
water filter.
Well, yeah, you could get a water filter.
I mean, like, I think a Berkey is like the best way to filter your water. Like, my sister-in-law has one, and I have looked into
so even
getting
if your
one.
water sat outside in a plastic jug, you'd feel safe drinking it through that water filter?
Yes.
Okay.
And I plan to do that this year. Even though we live on well water, I still want to take it a step further.
Well, I just added this addition onto my house, and when we originally remodeled this house, we were going to put a filter on our main line.
Yeah.
But it comes in the slab, and of course we didn't demolish the slab.
break
So
it
when I
into the
built
slab.
this, I was smart enough to remember I'd purchased this big filter. So I got a line that runs out here, and then it's filterized under my stairwell where it doesn't freeze or nothing.
Yeah.
Then it runs back to my house and feeds my house.
That's good.
But I did just switch, like our drinking water to glass jugs.
Yeah.
And I do feel really good about it, but now I'm like, man, we're putting it in plastic cups. When I fill up my coffee maker, it's freaking plastic. Dude, they got you.
I mean,
Plastic's like omnipresent now. It's like God.
because it's just easier to make.
Sure. And it's light.
But what you cook with, wooden spoons, stainless steel spatulas, don't use plastic. Because whenever you touch your food on that hot pan, that plastic is getting hot and it's touching
See,
your
you
food.
said you don't allow Tupperware, and I was like, golly. And then when I'm doing my research, I had no idea, like, throwing my food in a Tupperware in the freaking microwave is as, like, toxic as it could be.
Yeah.
So, I mean
but there's so much plastic in the world, like it's seeping into our water because there's
Right.
no way to get rid of it.
just like fertilizer. I mean, if I built
Yeah.
my house on a farm, dude, metal's in the soil.
It is.
And so, like, even your kids playing outside in the dirt, they're absorbing metals. Because a lot of the pesticides that we sprayed, it would be a 2.5 gallon jug, but that sucker would weigh freaking
And they stay in the
50
ground.
pounds.
They have a
'cause
residual.
there's so much metal in it.
What's a residual? Some of them have a residual, so that's how long they stay
Well,
there.
they're supposed to neutralize when they hit the
And
soil.
yeah.
You know?
And absorb into the air.
Yeah. So that was like, oh, yeah, this neutralizes as soon as it hits.
So stainless steel, cast iron, wooden spoons, stainless steel spatulas, and then like source your products locally. Like it takes a lot of work for me to buy the groceries for us because I get eggs from here, milk from there, meat. Like I literally have to go to 6 different places to get my
Where do you
food.
get your meat at?
Right now, I'm buying it at Jackie Rogers at Honestly
Yeah.
Beef, but we plan to kill that steer this weekend.
Oh, walk me through that process.
So
Killing a steer. How do you do that?
we actually are planning to do that Saturday. Like we're gonna butcher one.
Can I come watch?
Sure, but
So walk me through how you're going to do that.
it's not anything hard.
Does it have a name? Have you named this animal?
I don't. It doesn't have a name. It's crazy.
You got your eye on the one you're going to do?
Absolutely. We've had our eye
Are
on
you
him.
polishing him off with a little grain?
No, I'm not. He's just been on grass.
He's going to have that hard
I
fat.
mean, yeah, and
Would you polish him off for
Yeah.
a few days on some grain?
Yeah. If I could catch
And
him, but we
might
can't
tell
catch
somebody
him.
why you would do that?
Why would I do that? I don't know. It may add more fat to the meat.
Well, it makes it
It marbleizes
it. And
But
soft.
is that as important as you think it is?
I mean,
I
if
mean,
you're
I
gonna
do
eat
like
the
some
meat and not
fatty
be like,
meat.
well, bro, I'm not opening the freezer. That crap's like eating beef jerky.
But 90% of it we just ground up into ground beef. I mean, like,
I like ground beef because I can take it with me and just portion it, and I can eat it with. I don't have to have a knife. Don't have to cut. I don't like fat a whole lot.
but I will tell you this. So last night when I was cooking, this is just a interesting fact. I was cooking like some little steaks that I had bought for us, and my air purifiers, like when I cook burger versus when I cook a steak, like the air quality is totally different.
On your purifier itself?
Yeah, like the air quality drops when you cook like a hamburger meat, it'll drop to like 50% air quality. And then when I was cooking the steak last night, I just noticed it. I don't know. And it was like 78 to 80%. And I thought, that's so interesting.
Do you just have these set up around your house?
I do.
I'd be crop dusting that thing.
So I recently got an air doctor. I don't know if you know what an air doctor is. But I just got an air doctor and I put it in my kids' rooms.
Just one in each room?
Well, they clean so much space. So you buy them for square footage. So the one that I got for the girls, it cleans like 1,500 square foot. So that's pretty big. And then
Bro, I would need 10 of them things.
Well, yeah, because look at this.
I need one in every freaking room.
But then I have one in our bedroom, and I don't know. It's not like an air doctor, but I do feel
Y'all
like
cutting your own self short and giving your kids the best.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't
you do
why
that?
don't you deserve a doctor, air doctor?
I do, but I'm gonna get there. I just put them first. Plants in your home.
What about crystals? You got crystals in your home?
I got Bibles in my home.
I'm just asking.
No, but so air purifiers, plants, like put a snake plant in every bedroom you have. They are
snake plant.
It's called a snake plant. Mother-in-law's tongue is it detoxes the air and it releases oxygen at night. But it is the best plant to have in your home. I have one in every bedroom in my house.
Really? A snake plant.
It's called a snake plant.
All right, we've made it through coffee. We've made it through cooking breakfast. You get your eggs locally?
I do.
What else do you eat for breakfast?
I
eat Eggo waffles?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No boxed food. I make biscuits homemade.
You know where this started for me?
Where?
My best friend. His mother's dead and gone. God bless her soul. You know, it makes me think. I think last night I had a dream about her, which is crazy now that I'm sitting here saying this. But have you ever heard the book, The Things They Don't Want You to Know About? Bro, this book was written, I swear I was probably 12, and she was in there reading it. You know, we didn't have internet or anything. We didn't even have TV. I mean, this is the friends where you walk to their house and see if they're home, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't have,
Yeah,
I don't
no
even think we had
telephones.
phones. And he lived a half mile down the road. And, but anyway, like she read this book, you know, The Things They Don't Want You to Know About. And it was this straight conspiracy, bro. Sunscreen.
My kids don't wear sunscreen.
All we're talking about. And then, like, I was become aware of it then. It was like, if it comes in a box, don't use it. Or if you can't find the ingredients in your house and make it on the back, then don't use it.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that sounds crazy, but that's pretty true.
And I have to order self-rising, unbleached flour to cook my biscuits with because they do not sell it in the store.
Why do you think they got to bleach it? Just so your food looks pretty?
I guess. Like,
or is it preserved?
Absolutely not. There's no reason. I don't understand why you would have to bleach flour. Would you care if it was brown?
Just like sugar. Yeah. I mean, my dad lives by all the cane mills, and when you go by there, they're loading it with front end loaders. It's as brown as this wood.
Yeah, natural in its natural state.
Right.
Why did we come up with bleaching things?
It's got to be a selling point. So right here, you've made me something. About to smell it.
That is organic, which...
Go ahead.
It's organic coconut oil and then beef fat. And I rendered the beef fat down.
So how much of it's beef fat?
It's half and half. half.
Where do you get the coconut oil?
I bought it at the store.
What's in it? Just coconut oil?
It is. It's pure organic coconut oil.
Was it raised with
It's kind of hard to mess up a coconut.
Pesticides?
I mean, and you're not going to find a coconut anywhere here.
Right.
And I feel confident that it's clean. I read a vitamin E bottle the other day. You know what an ingredient on vitamin E was? Soybean oil. Why are they putting soybean oil in vitamin E oil?
Make it lather up.
Soybean oil. Soybeans are like the most sprayed crop out there.
I'm about to row it on my place. Don't do it.
Absolutely not. I mean,
we were gonna play in the yard when they were spraying.
Yeah. Well,
I probably shouldn't say this for our agriculture control out there. I'm friends with him, but I'd be out there spraying in just a cut off shirt, hat on backwards, drinking coffee.
I know.
And I'm supposed to be wearing Tyvek and respirators. I'm not in a cab and AC or nothing, bro. I'm just straight getting it. And then I'd be so nauseated.
Yeah.
I would come in, I'd like get 2 tanks sprayed, and Chris would be like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm nauseated. I've been spraying glyphosate.
You know, another thing that I've done with my kids and myself is 100% cotton clothing.
Yeah, dude. I read that going down the rabbit hole, and I just bought these nice freaking, and my daughter's going to ask me yesterday.
Can I go get some Lululemon?
No. She asked me why I had on mommy's pants. Dog. Because I'm rocking them skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying?
Synthetic.
Straight up say, why you got on mommy's pants? But I thought about that.
Keep him honest,
it
Collins.
said polyester. Polyester's microplastics.
Synthetic material. And you think there are pores on every...
They say our skin's our biggest organ.
It is.
So that's what...
Pores.
This is beef tallow.
Yeah.
So I've bought some very cheap lotions. But now I'm to the point I get out of the shower and I've always put on lotion. Always. I'm a dude, bro.
Yeah.
But,
me too. I have to.
I've always put on lotion, and now I'm aware of how much plastics and metals are in all these lotions, and I'm putting it on the biggest organ of my body every day, multiple times. What could I do? Is this what you've made me?
That's what I made you. That's all that I've put on my skin for
Am I going to get
years.
zitty wearing this?
No.
I'm going to have big old bumps on me, bro, because I got this beef fat.
No, I mean...
How do you render this?
Over the stove.
So, tell me how you get the fat. You, cut a ribeye and get it off the edge?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fatty spots on the cow, and you just cut those off. Now, when you render it, you have to clean it. You gonna make me some beef tallow
Saturday because I'm almost out. Seriously.
What's that?
To cook with.
Oh, yeah.
Because I scrape it up. It looks like coconut flakes.
Yeah, you just mean clean, tallow. Sure.
But, I mean, I'll render it if you tell me how.
All you do is just warm it and strain it and warm it.
So if
strain it through a cheesecloth.
If I cook some really good ground beef, is that fat tallow? Because it turns white, but it's kind of yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You just, if you want to keep it and utilize it, you just strain it through.
That's all tallow is?
Yeah.
Even from ground beef?
Yes.
Yeah, but ground beef fats that's been kind of blended with everything's good enough?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not going to get cow tongue in there with it and...
No, you just want to strain it and clean it to get the meat particles out. And it doesn't take much of that stuff.
Put it on my old callous hands.
But castor oil, my hands are pretty callous.
Holy snap.
Black seed castor oil.
I ain't going to be able to get out of here.
Hey,
I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to have to keep this away from Asher when he gets older. My God.
Don't say
Boy, I am lathered up. How do you know how much to use?
Well, go wash your hands.
Right now?
No, I'm just saying, whenever you do it. But the greasiness, it'll absorb pretty quick because I've put that on about 16 times this morning. 16? Not really 16, but just a lot because my skin is really bad in the wintertime. You see my knuckles just
You need to eat some watermelon.
Yeah. But I just have to lather. Like,
All right, so I've tried to do my due diligence.
Deodorant.
Yeah, so like trying to keep the aluminums out my pits.
There is stuff in the stores. You just have to spend time researching.
And let me tell you, not all this stuff works.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff made me smell like I didn't know I could smell. I swear. But this is Salt and Stone.
Yeah.
Have you ever smelled it?
I haven't.
It's freaking amazing, dude.
I just found
And it hangs in there. It says 48 hours, brother. You give me a quarter of that and we're good. I just need 12 hours, and I'm getting another shower.
Have you used it?
I use it now. This one's brand new. I hadn't used that one.
So this has been in your armpits?
No, it's brand new. Is that how you smell things? You're supposed to do this.
Aluminum-free deodorant, 48-hour protection. So where does
How would you find out if that's safe?
Well, it doesn't have the ingredients on the back.
What about the box? I bought the box. It's brand new.
Because
this is me doing my due diligence, trying to be healthy. Tell me how well I have done.
I get on the Yucca app.
Yucca?
Which is something that I have. So you can see kind of CeraVe native shampoo. Like my biggest thing is like finding a shampoo that I
don't wash my hair. Neither does my doctor say I should.
Well, Weston doesn't wash his hair.
You're not supposed to.
Well, I know it does produce its own natural
But you're a
oils.
girl. I mean, like a guy like me and old Weston, we can just get in the shower and wet our hair.
Exactly.
And then my CEO,
look at my history.
My CEO makes her own soap, and it's all from oils. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, I can get a little bit of her soap, which smells amazing.
Miranda. Yeah.
Shout out to Soap D. Jolie. And like, swear to God, I just put a little bit of that soap in my hair, and it makes it feel like I put conditioner in it.
Yeah.
Does it freaking look like it?
Well, yeah, but you don't need to have volume. So, like, I need to have volume.
Oh, I can tell you how to get it. You comb it one way and start blow drying it back, bro.
Or put some baking soda in it, and it absorbs the oils.
I only make crack with that. I don't know.
But I have made dry shampoo out of bentonite clay. And flour. Like, that's how you make homemade dry shampoo, is out of bentonite clay. Do you know what bentonite clay is?
Let me tell you a funny story about Sunday, bro. I was feeling low energy, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to watch football, and it was getting cold. Yeah, so I'm like, dude, I'm going to go earth a little bit. You ever earth? Anyway, so I was like, well, I'm going to go get a shower. Well, I look out my bathroom window, and I'm like, man, I want to go earth a little bit. And while I do it, I'm going to rub some volcanic ash on my face. So Daddy gets in his undies, boy. I just earthing out there with a volcanic mask on. Bro, you ground, man. You walk around barefooted.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, first thing I know, Christy's like, hey, can you come watch the babies? Like, I got to do something. I got to put the other ones to sleep. Bro, I'm out here looking like freaking Tarzan.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, probably Bigfoot. I was thinking Tarzan, but it probably is more like Sasquatch. And I freak them out.
Well,
Just trying to do the organic thing.
Well, I don't think you need to get caught up in it so much and make it too complicated, because you
almost
can't.
Ran out to the highway and
caused her wreck. So I scanned your Salt and Stone.
All right, give me a.
So on a scale of 0 to 100, you're at 41, which is not bad.
Dang, but I ordered this stuff.
It has, okay, so ingredients. So it lists the ingredients. Ozocurite. Not sure what that is. It says moderate risk. I'm going to click on this information tab. And it says, this ingredient is a petroleum derivative that belongs to the mineral oil family. It is used as a softener and a moisturizer in cosmetic products. In the European Union, it is banned in cosmetics unless the refining process minimizes the presence of toxic impurities. However, toxic impurities can remain, particularly MOHA, which I'm not sure what that means, which are a family of carcinogenic and genotoxic hydrocarbons. Some of the studies indicate that it is not possible to eliminate them completely. These oils should be avoided, particularly in the products where there is a risk of ingestion, such as lip balms and lipsticks. Furthermore, the product...
All right, you got me freaked out either way.
But listen, there's lymph nodes under here.
But what could you make deodorant out of and not smell like you're from Europe?
Well, so
Just get you a warm cloth throughout the day and wipe your pits out.
But this is why I love this app, because it gives you recommendations. So here's some recommendations.
Can you look up my cologne?
These are good. This is unicorn deodorant.
Oh, I thought that was Old Spice.
No, Hello Bello, which is a natural.
Is that good? Because I got closets of Hello Bello.
So Hello Bello is a really clean company, and they do like
you
source
think it's
stuff.
right?
I do.
I got all my diapers, all my body wash, all my lotions.
Yeah. Hello Bello is now you do
the wipes
need to like with the kids' body wash, because that's what I used on my kids was Hello Bello. I did have to order because some of them have a fragrance in them that is not good. But
we'll deal with that. I like to smell
exactly.
good.
So see, like this one, it has fragrance, which is
That's
says,
for a grown person.
Yeah, but it scans a 93 out of 100. This is deodorant.
And this is from Hello Bello.
Hello Bello.
I mean,
this
I
is
get
the
a
kind
box.
that I use.
I get a box from them every day. I could just throw a stick in there.
Ask them for some deodorant. But this is coconut. The scent is sweet coconut, which you would like
Tom
that.
Ford Tuscan leather on there, and let's see what that hits on. Shout out Drizzy Drake.
Oh, it does have a barcode.
You're holding rent money in your hand right now.
Oh.
Tom Ford Tuscan
What do you
leather.
think it scans?
Dude, it better be freaking zero, pure.
High risk, BHT. What is BHT? Butylated hydroxytoluene is a compound used in cosmetics for its antioxidant function. Associated risk: potential allergen, potential endocrine disruptor, pollutant.
We ain't worried about the earth, baby. We just
But
trying
it
to smell
scans
good.
a 16 out of 100.
That's good, huh?
That's bad. You
Oh.
want it to be 100. Like, you
dang.
see this big red dot?
Yeah.
This is where you say,
You know it's designed around a brick of cocaine. You ever smelled a brick of cocaine?
put it back on the
Smell
shelf.
it. Smell it. It's a brick of cocaine if you ain't never smelled it.
But look at it does give you a recommendation.
If you listen to Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same, that's what the first song's about. Tuscan leather.
It does smell like
That's
leather.
like cowboy.
But why don't you just go get some leather and rub it on your body every day?
Well, I ain't married to old Weston Mitchell.
Brazilian Crush is a recommendation. Power Stick Paradise Breeze.
All right, let's reel it back in.
So,
Is there any other daily activity that someone could be aware of and make an easy change? Drinking from a glass.
glass, stainless steel, cast iron. I think what you cook your food on. If you can't,
That's just one of the biggest things.
yes, because it's going internal. Like that's an internal.
And you're heating it up.
Yeah,
So
so-
what about, I've switched I know we've talked about tallow, but I never really said, like I literally do cook with it instead of seed oils.
Butter, real butter.
Seriously? But how you get real butter?
Kerrygold at the store.
Dude, my buddy looked up yesterday the ingredients in a yick filet yicken sandwich. I think there's 55 ingredients.
It's really bad.
Ain't
it's
that
really
crazy,
bad.
man? And we sit here and
It
talk
almost has-
about this as the Lord's chicken. And I'm like, man, y'all are oblivious to what you're eating. Now, I ain't going to lie. Get them extra
It's
pickles.
really
It's a
bad.
hitter. But, yeah, man, we're totally unaware of.
And do you see the lines at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, yeah, 2 of them.
Daily? It has stuff in there that makes you addicted to their chicken.
Yeah.
Call me crazy, but it does. Like in those additives, there was a doctor, and I watched a video on. I mean, obviously, there's videos everywhere. So you find one and watch it, and you start doing your own research on what you just saw to figure out if it's true or not. But he literally said the same thing that you just said. The ingredients in a chicken. How can that many ingredients be in one chicken? Or in a chicken
Right.
Like, why are we adding ingredients to meat?
If you froze chicken, how long does it last?
I would probably say less than a year.
So there's no need for these preservatives if we got freezers at restaurants and
Yeah.
reefer trucks
Yeah.
hauling it.
Yeah.
That's wild because, I mean, it's not like we don't not keep it refrigerated or frozen.
No.
There's also very addictive how texture of food is with the taste, just like pasta. That's why it triggers your brain that you can eat endless amounts of pastas because the texture and the...
Really?
Yeah, that's why, like me, I could eat pasta.
You love
dude.
pasta.
Freaking pounds.
And you know what?
of it.
I'm on a gluten-free diet per this doctor that I've been seeing. So I haven't had pasta in a few months. No breads. I have had sourdough bread, but I can't even eat my homemade biscuits.
You think Ezekiel bread's good?
I've never had it. Does it go through a fermenting process?
I don't know. I just know it's made of grains.
I think anything that goes through a fermenting process is like optimum for your body. It has probiotics and prebiotics in
You
it.
drink your own piss.
Do you drink your own piss?
If I'm feeling a little down, isn't
So
that like
I wanted to ask you, what are the benefits of that? Like, what's the research?
I don't drink it.
What?
I just know people that's pretty natural. That they'll drink their own piss. That's one thing.
Like, what are they benefiting from it? Are they like?
There's some microbiomes in there or something that they think they're getting. And then they'll freaking put their little... They'll get their booty hole in the sun for, I think it's only 30 seconds.
You know,
They'll spread their cheeks. And
I'm not talking about that. That's disgusting.
now, I'll tell you, I'll do some reptilian things outside, but I don't really feel led to do that. I like to
I'm not thirsty. I mean, I'm not that thirsty.
I do like to lay on the concrete if it's raining.
Oh yeah, and absorb the concrete. It's warm.
It's hot.
I would say, you know, my thought process when I go to cook a meal, is this my last meal? Do I want it to be the best meal that I've had or the most convenient meal?
You know, bro, I was watching a dude a while back on death row, and his last meal wish was lobster. Well, they got to use what the kitchen has. So this chef was explaining how he would give a man lobster. If it was his last meal, he'd literally take shrimp, and it was kind of sad. Yeah, and like try to
impersonate lobster. That's so
That's
sad.
terrible, bro.
It is. But, you know, I want to say, like last night, this is a prime example. I needed something to cook for the kids because I'm at the end of my grocery week. So, like, I go buy groceries.
Where do you buy groceries at?
I go Walmart. I go to
That
my
sounds
local.
like a big name for you to be using.
It is, but I just buy ingredients. I don't buy boxes from them. And I literally buy the same exact thing. Like,
Do you use Aldi?
I do not. And I have been in there one time.
I don't go
It did
in
not
it.
impress me.
I don't go in any grocery store. We do pickups. We buy a
Well,
lot
yeah, us
from
too.
Sam's.
Well, I do. I have started shopping Sam's because, like, there's some things that I found there that are good. You literally have to just, like, shop here because some things don't carry
Is your
high-quality
grocery list
products.
something you'd be willing to give people?
Absolutely.
And why?
I mean, I would,
That's
but
the
then
real
my
way you can
products
serve
would
people
sell
if they
out.
watch this. That's being kind of selfish. But then they might stock more because people are buying them. So you got to look at it from the upside.
I mean, because me and my sister, like, we shop a lot of the same things, but just like Archer beef jerky sticks. Like, I'm not going to go buy a Slim Jim. I don't care that it's cheaper.
You don't make your own beef jerky?
I
With
do
this
not.
cow slaughtering y'all do?
I don't have the time to do that. I mean, I could, but I hadn't taken it that far.
Hey,
I
walk me
have
through
to-
slaughtering a cow real quick. How do
Okay.
y'all do it? Like, real quick rundown, because we're running out of time.
we?
And I want to get to homeschooling. We're probably out of time.
Oh.
It's 9:30.
Oh, well, we got a lot to talk about. You may need to split it into two.
Well, you might have to come back and talk about homeschool education then, because I really want that. I'm selfishly want to know about that for my kids.
Well, so to butcher a cow, I mean, it's not mathematical. If you've butchered a deer, you just
Yeah, but walk me through that morning. Do you like wake up and freaking put paint on your face and
absolutely not. We
Get in
got to
the
catch the
zone.
thing first.
do you pray before you do it?
No, I don't. I don't. It's a natural process of life. It's like the Lion King, you know. I mean, it's the circle of life. I fed you for a year. You're going to feed me for a year.
Dang.
I mean, is
And
that
end
cold?
your life.
What else is it going to do?
I'm just giving
Keep
you a hard
costing
time.
me money?
If I had
But-
to kill a cow,
Would
How
it
do
be
y'all
hard
feed
for
them
you?
every day? Y'all just grass feed them?
Yeah, they're just in pasture. I mean,
Do y'all ride around them every day and check them?
Not really. I mean, they're not like high maintenance animals. We just have mama cows and they raise calves. And when we do like wean yearlings and separate them, that does put stress on them, so they are more prone to getting sick. So we do check on them at those times. But when they're on their mamas, like they're usually getting her milk and they're usually taking care of themselves. I mean, just like a normal
You're
child.
not killing them then, though.
Oh, no, they got to be like 1,000 pounds before they're ready to eat. Like, you want them to have some meat on their bones. Like, you're not...
You don't want that young calf?
Young, tender meat. No, so the last one that we did, like, we just had it in, like, a 1-acre lot by our house. Like, we had got it up and put it in the lot and just went out there and fed it that morning. And
Y'all use a rifle or a pistol?
22 rifle.
Dude, I'd have to go a little bigger.
Right between the...
So how do
it
you
just
do it? Like,
falls
hey,
down.
little Willie, look, I want to scratch your head.
No, I mean, no. You
I
just
feel like
don't-
I would have to feed
you
my
don't-
cows with
you
a
don't-
rifle.
Don't think about it. Like, you literally just go out there
What if
and
it
you
don't?
do it.
What if it don't work in one shot?
Then you didn't do your job. Like, there is a technique. Like, I mean, you need to hit them in the right spot, so it's like instant. Like, it's not something you just take lightly when you walk out there.
Sure.
Like, you have a job,
You don't rush it if it's not right.
just kind of like a hitman or something. You got one shot, and that's it. Because if you screw it up,
It's gonna be rough.
you put stress on the meat,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But you want to move quick too, because you get it shot. You want to get that front end loader and get it picked up, so it starts.
Front end loader.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to pick up a 1,000-pound cow? And we're doing this at our home. Like, this is
Y'all dangling to the
absolutely
butcher spot.
You wrap chains around his legs and hook him up and pick him up and start with the hide. You cut him straight down his belly and you pull his hide off just like you would a
You make
deer,
blankets
and
with
then cut him at his neck. So my nephews took the hide from the last one, but you could do something with the hide. I mean, you could make a cowhide rug if you wanted to go through the process of salting it and all that stuff. But we have that and just didn't care. I don't know. Poor utilization on our part, because, I mean, we should use every part of it. But cut its head off.
What do you do with it?
Feed it to the dogs.
Dang.
I mean, it's a good chew bone. What am I going to do with it?
I mean, I know some
Hang
real,
it on the wall?
I know some real spiritual brothers that they use a little bit from it all. I mean, they'll cook the tendons down.
I mean, we kept like the liver and the heart, and beef liver is so nutritional for you. But you just start
eat it raw?
deboning it. I will not.
What if it's got some boys? You make oysters out of them?
These have already been cut. We use a steer, but now my husband has a YouTube video on fried.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what they call them? Mountain oysters?
Yeah.
Him and his friend fried them up. Sure
I want
did.
to see them eat it raw.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
No?
Feed them to the dogs. The dogs eat them raw, and I ain't eating them raw.
They're full of jelly whenever they eat them, or what?
Yeah, but we start deboning it, and we have a meat grinder, and he's deboning, and I'm like packaging. Like we do it like tenderloins or steaks or roast, and then when you get to the meat, just have big tables, and you just start
And then you just grind it up.
grind
make
it
ground
up,
meat.
and then package it up into like 2 to 5 pound packs. It takes a lot of meat to feed us in a meal. Like I have to
Yeah,
use
same.
about 2.5 pounds of meat.
We cook 4 at a time.
Yeah,
here.
to cook a meat and to have leftovers. Like you
Well,
got.
I just cook the meat and eat it, bro.
Well, I do too,
I ain't
but
fancy.
my family is like
Not mine. My
the
kids
kids
do.
like they sometimes we just eat meat and cheese.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Like I love that.
I want daddy's chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Everything's chicken.
Yeah, or meat and rice, roast and rice, sausage and rice, and
I read we get a lot of carcinogens from rice.
I know. I mean, I have mixed emotions about it because I have on down the line read that there was plastic in rice. And for years I wouldn't eat rice, but here in the last year I've put it back into our diet because it's gluten-free, number one, and I can't eat pasta or anything like that. And
you don't ever eat lentil noodles?
I have chickpea.
We cook all our spaghetti with chickpea noodles, lentil noodles, and I swear I cannot taste the difference.
Well, no, now I use these protein noodles that I found. They're like a bidet, I think it's called, but no, Barilla. That's
bidet, I was going to say. You use bidets? We do use
Panay. Barilla brand, but they're a protein noodle, and that's what I cook for my kids, so they're getting protein, when they make their mac and cheese. We don't buy box mac and cheese.
No. It's awful.
And we don't buy shredded cheese. You shred your own cheese from a block of cheese.
Where do you get a block of cheese?
At the store.
Okay, it's not nothing special.
No. It literally, there's only one way to make a block of cheese. There's a million ways to make shredded cheese.
Dang, remember that.
I saw that they literally are putting cardboard in shredded cheese to make it anti-caking. Never eat a bag of cheese again. Buy your blocks of cheese, shred it. It's the best cheese anyways. Have you ever ate shredded, homemade shredded cheese?
My daughter will.
Versus she loves bag shredded cheese. You need and you shred a whole block at a time, and you got a container that's huge.
Do y'all eat in a specific amount of time every day?
I cook breakfast, I cook lunch, and I cook supper almost the same time every single day. My husband comes home for lunch at 11:30 every day, and I start cooking about 10 o'clock for lunch. Breakfast and lunch usually run into each other in our house, and usually after lunch is when it kind of slows down, and then we have supper. But
what
breakfast and lunch
supper?
are about 6:30.
Dang, we're in bed by then.
I know, but I wish if it were up to me, I would be in bed on a time clock every day because I thrive off of a time clock. My husband.
What's he doing? Wrangling?
Just lazy,
watching
TV. No, he just wants to watch TV. I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV.
I don't either. Try not to.
We live different. When it comes to that, it's just I'm seeking this, optimum health, nutrition, habits, life, because I have 3 girls that are looking up to me, and I want them to be better than I am. So I have to do the best to set the standard so they can be better.
Well, now you got to figure out how you can help other people do that. That's your bigger calling.
But, I thought about that at one time, but then it distracts me from them.
No,
and that's why
I scale what you're doing. Create a system out of what you're doing. You've went the hard way of figuring all this out. Now you could just implement it super easy for other people. I just feel like
it's a distraction because I have a YouTube channel. I started
but it's about
one a year
serving
ago.
Other people.
I know, and I do need to serve people. Because the Lord tells us that we need to serve people. And I have
and it
prayed
would be very fulfilling
for a purpose. I know it would.
And then your daughters would be more bought into it. They're like, oh, we do this because we serve other people doing it, not just because mama's making us.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
You're taking for granted the knowledge you have. And I know we went all around the place today, but you should definitely gather and specify your information. Even if you wrote a book and you say, oh, I couldn't write a book, but literally talk what you do out every day. And there's some artificial.
I need to be a little.
Because that's why I called you here. I watch what you do from a distance. And I've always subconsciously tried to be aware of what I'm doing and how healthy it is. And then I say, oh, dang, she's already doing that. Just like the beef tallow and the glass, all those things. But, my calling's not necessarily to be
the maker.
Well, yeah, just I don't know. I'm not obsessed with that, but I would incorporate it if somebody had the knowledge out there. And I would pay for the information. I don't have time to sit here and figure out. That app. I don't even. It's
taken a lot of trial and error as far as products. Now, not trial and error on switching from non-stick That was a given, like stainless steel. Oh, well, stainless steel is so hard to cook on. Put butter in your pan. Clean the pan. You just got to clean it. It is a little more work.
One little fun fact I was blown away with that I had no ideas, because when we built our new house, we got the commercial range and switched everything to stainless steel. But whenever I was cooking and eating nothing but whole eggs, and whenever I started dieting to cut down a little bit more, one of my coaches said, man, let's get to egg whites. Dude, I did not realize whenever I poured them egg whites in there versus whole eggs, just straight, no fat. So they just stuck.
Oh, you're talking about when you were cooking them.
Yeah, like, dude, the difference in cooking egg whites and
about taking
eggs.
Out
yolks.
Well,
I watch my fat percentages. Don't argue with me unless you're willing to count your macros. If you want to count your macros.
I'm not willing at all.
We can count your macros.
I feel healthy.
Well, that's good, but I want to feel and look.
Well, do I not look healthy?
No, but I'm trying to be chiseled, bro.
I know, and I'm not.
I mean, you can either just, feel, or you can drip.
I think it's
I'm trying to drip.
You have to give.
You heard my new name, right?
More than I'm willing. Wrangler drip? What was it?
Oh, Drip Wrangler.
Drip Wrangler.
Why is that so funny, bro?
Like, why are you a Wrangler? Do you wear Wranglers?
Wrangler is a position, bro.
Oh, you're a herder.
Yeah.
You're the head
but I got that
wrangler.
Drip.
What is drip?
Like swagger.
I carry a lot of drip too. Not really. I wouldn't think I would. You know what I thought when you were like, what's your brand name? You know what it is? Odd Man Out.
Odd Man Out.
Odd Man Out. Because I am the odd man out. Out of everybody that I know, I'm the odd man out. I'm always the odd man out. And it took me a while not to take that personally, but now it's like, I wouldn't say like I hold it as a pleasure. Like that's something that is like power to me, that I'm the odd man out, like, because I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. So I'm more confident in my life and who I am to not follow suit.
Well, you just know who you are. Most people don't have a clue who they are. So if people want to follow you and get more information about what we've talked about, where can they do that? I don't intimidate
people. Like, I just want them to, I would love to share what I know with people.
That's serving.
But
people say they hate social media, but if you use your platform to show people and create awareness and then strategically show them how you can do it, and then they see you're the essence of it because you're living it.
I know. I mean,
you got to change your perspective of how you. But you're getting on social media looking at the negative, thinking this is what social media is, but it's really a platform you can serve people.
I just don't feel like people are taking what I would be willing to give.
Because you're in connection with the wrong people.
I guess it's just our community,
Like if I want to become a surfer, I ain't going to Montana. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the beach.
Boss.
So like if I want to be healthy and be the odd man out, I'm not the only one.
I know.
I just got to get on the frequency of all the odd men out. But you're not putting yourself out there, so you're not connected to it. That's why social media is so powerful if you learn how to use it in the right way. Just like if you put this out here and people want to know more all of a sudden, you got on the frequency of serving people how you live.
But
and you
I would
put
like
it
to
out
serve
there
locally.
Well, you will if you put it on your Facebook, because people are going to watch this. And they're going to be like, hey, Mom, look, this is somebody using tallow. See, I told you.
I would like to do it like face to face.
Well, you could.
Like, I want to.
But that starts by you putting awareness out. People pay attention first. So you would post a video of like, hey, I don't use lotion and this is why. But I'm not just going to be tactical and tell you don't use lotion. I use beef tallow and coconut oil, and this is how I mix it. Here, click the PDF below and opt in, and I'll send you how I mix my own. And then
I know because I
and then they start following you. Hey, Brittany,
like
you want to join my $99
workshop? I want you to
workshop?
look up this thing on YouTube. It's called Country Life Vlog. I want you to look that profile up.
That's you?
No, it's not me, but.
You the Southern Gypsy?
No, I'm not. Was it? I can't even remember. But I did YouTube. I made like 2 videos, and then I thought, this is such a bust. Like, I don't.
But you're looking at it from the wrong reason. You don't think I wake up and feel silly about what I'm doing?
I mean, I know it's intimidating, and
You got to remember your why
I know.
every day. Why I'm doing this, and whenever I begin to feel silly, I actually told myself that this morning. Every time I begin to feel silly, I got to remember why I'm doing this. Because I was starting to feel silly this morning about coming out here doing some podcasts. So, I just want you to see that today.
Well, I do, because when I want to choose taking my kids to a restaurant over cooking them a meal, it's like, nope, keep driving.
Well,
why am I going to keep driving?
That's what you need to write in a book. You need to tell people what you're thinking and why you do that. So until next time, you can find Brittany at, Brittany Mitchell?
Brittany Mitchell.
On Facebook only?
Or Growing the Mitchells.
Growing the Mitchells.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
There we go.
Healthy homemaking.
Can they message you and ask you?
Absolutely. Let's see.
So Growing the Mitchells
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yes.
Or Brittany Mitchell on Facebook.
Yeah. I have 2 YouTube videos, but
What's that YouTube channel? Because you're going to fire that back up too.
Okay, hold on.
Just give me the name.
Healthy, handy homemaking.
That right there. You hear it, folks. Well, Brittany, thanks for coming today. Hope to have you back.
Yeah, we got to talk about homeschooling.
That's it.
Yep, so.
Thanks for coming today.
Yeah.